The facade of weakness. The starship Celestial Envoy hung in orbit above Earth, its sleek hull gleaming in the reflected sunlight. On board, Ambassador Zixera of the Galactic Confederation peered out at the blue-green planet below, mandibles clicking in what passed for a smirk among her species. Such a quaint little world, she chittered to her aide. It's hard to believe they've even managed spaceflight, let alone qualify for Confederation membership. Her aide, a younger member of their insectoid race, bobbed his antennae in agreement. Their technology seems positively archaic compared to ours. Are we certain they're ready for this? Zixera waved a clawed appendage dismissively. The elders believe they have potential, something about their adaptability and determination. Personally, I think they're just desperate to find new allies against the Void Hunters. As the Celestial Envoy began its descent towards the designated landing zone, neither of its occupants noticed the brief flicker of a cloaking field engaging around a massive object in high orbit. The silent sentinel resumed its vigil, undetected and unknown to all but a select few humans. On the ground, a welcoming committee gathered on the sprawling lawn of the United Nations headquarters in New York. Flags from every nation on Earth fluttered in the breeze, a show of unity for their extraterrestrial visitors. At the forefront stood Dr. Amelia Chen, Earth's newly appointed ambassador to the stars. As the alien ship touched down with barely a whisper, Amelia took a deep breath. Years of preparation had led to this moment. The public story that humanity had only recently achieved faster-than-light travel and stumbled upon the Galactic Confederation was about to face its greatest test. Ambassador Zixera emerged from her ship, flanked by her aide and two towering security drones. The crowd of dignitaries and journalists gasped at the sight of the alien delegation. Amelia stepped forward, arms outstretched in the universal gesture of peace. Ambassador Zixera, on behalf of the people of Earth, I bid you welcome, Amelia said, her voice steady and warm. We are honored by your presence and eager to learn from our new galactic neighbors. Zixera's multifaceted eyes scanned the assembled humans, noting their primitive communication devices and simple protective gear. Her mandibles clicked in amusement. Greetings, Dr. Chen. The Galactic Confederation is pleased to make your acquaintance. We look forward to guiding your species into a new era of enlightenment. As the formal pleasantries continued, Amelia fought to keep her expression neutral. The condescension in Zixera's tone was clear, but it was exactly what they had hoped for. Let them underestimate us, she thought. It's safer that way. The next few days were a whirlwind of meetings, tours, and cultural exchanges. Zixera and her team were shown carefully curated examples of Earth's technology, impressive by 21st century standards, but laughably outdated compared to the rest of the galaxy. The alien delegation made little effort to hide their amusement at humanity's quaint attempts at innovation. Behind the scenes, however, a very different story was unfolding. In a secure bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Marcus Blackwood stood before a holographic display of the solar system. Dozens of blinking lights represented Earth's hidden fleet of advanced warships and defense platforms, all cloaked from prying eyes. Status report, Blackwood barked. A young lieutenant snapped to attention. All systems nominal, sir. The Celestial Envoy scans haven't detected any of our true defenses. As far as they know, we're just a bunch of primitive monkeys playing with rockets. Blackwood nodded, a grim smile on his weathered face. Good. Let's keep it that way. The longer we can maintain this charade, the better prepared we'll be when the real threat emerges. He turned to a wall of screens displaying news feeds from across the galaxy. Most were incomprehensible to human eyes, but advanced AI translated the information in real time. One headline caught his attention. Void Hunters strike again. Outer colonies in panic. Lieutenant, Blackwood said quietly, increase surveillance on all known Void Hunter hotspots. If they so much as sneeze in our direction, I want to know about it. As the bunker hummed with activity, Ambassador Zixera was concluding her final meeting with Earth's leaders. She stood before the UN Security Council, her posture radiating barely concealed boredom. In conclusion, she droned, "The Galactic Confederation welcomes Earth as a probationary member. We will provide you with limited access to our technology and knowledge bases, appropriate for your current level of development. In return, we expect your full cooperation in our efforts against the Void Hunters and other threats to galactic peace." The human delegates nodded and smiled, playing their roles perfectly. Only Amelia, seated at the end of the table, allowed herself a moment of quiet defiance. "And what of Earth's defense?" she asked innocently. "Surely we would be easy prey for these Void Hunters in our current state." Zixara's mandibles clicked rapidly, the equivalent of a patronizing chuckle. "Fear not, little ones. The Confederation will provide for your protection. Your world is of little strategic value, but we do not abandon even the weakest of our members." As the meeting adjourned, Amelia exchanged knowing glances with key members of the Security Council. The trap was set. Earth would play the part of the helpless newcomer, all while preparing for the storm they knew was coming. Later that night, as the celestial envoy broke orbit and disappeared into the depths of space, Amelia stood alone on the roof of the UN building. She gazed up at the stars, her eyes finding the faint flicker of a cloaking field disengaging for a fraction of a second. "Stay hidden, my friends," she whispered to the invisible guardians above. "Our time will come." In the vast emptiness between stars, something ancient and terrible stirred. The Void Hunters, a scourge that had laid waste to countless civilizations, turned their attention to a new target. On 1,000 worlds, sensors screamed in alarm as massive fleets began to move. The galaxy trembled, unaware that its greatest hope lay in the most unexpected of places, a small blue planet on the outer rim, dismissed as weak and primitive by friend and foe alike. Earth's greatest deception had only just begun. First contact gone wrong. 6 months after Earth's induction into the Galactic Confederation, the planet Zorthal loomed large in the viewscreen of the ESS Archimedes. The ship, officially a diplomatic vessel, was in reality one of Earth's most advanced stealth cruisers. Its true capabilities were hidden beneath layers of cloaking technology and false sensor readings. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the alien world before them. "Status report," she ordered, her voice calm but tense. Her first officer, Commander Raj Patel, consulted his holographic display. "All systems nominal, Captain. Our false transponder is broadcasting the expected signature of a primitive human vessel. As far as the Zorthalians are concerned, we're limping in on impulse power." Elena nodded, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "Excellent. Let's hope our acting skills are up to par. The success of this mission could change everything." The Archimedes had been dispatched to Zorthal, homeworld of one of the Confederation's founding species, under the guise of a goodwill mission. Their true purpose was far more critical: to gather intelligence on the Void Hunters and, if possible, forge a secret alliance against the looming threat. As the ship entered orbit, a communication request pinged on the main console. Elena straightened her uniform and nodded to Raj. "Showtime," she muttered. The view screen flickered to life, revealing the imposing figure of High Chancellor Kexlor. The Zorthalian leader resembled a cross between a praying mantis and a lion, with gleaming compound eyes and a mane of iridescent feathers. "Greetings, humans." Kexlor's voice boomed through the speakers. "We are honored by your visit." The slight pause betrayed his true feelings, barely concealed disdain. Elena bowed deeply, playing up the role of the awestruck primitive. "High Chancellor, we are humbled by your hospitality. The people of Earth eagerly seek your wisdom and guidance in these turbulent times." Kexlor's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "Yes, well, we shall do our best to elevate your understanding. Prepare for atmospheric entry. Our starport will guide your vessel to a safe landing." As the communication ended, Elena's facade dropped. She turned to her crew, her expression now sharp and focused. "Remember the mission. We play the part of the eager students, but keep your eyes and ears open. Any intel on the Void Hunters is top priority." On the third day of their visit, a breakthrough came during a state dinner with High Chancellor Kexlor and his inner circle. As the conversation turned to galactic security, Alina saw her opportunity. "Forgive my ignorance, High Chancellor," she began, her voice carefully modulated to sound both respectful and slightly fearful. "But we've heard whispers of a great threat, the Void Hunters. Could you tell us more about them? How can a young species like ours hope to survive such a menace?" The atmosphere in the room changed instantly. Kexlor's compound eyes narrowed, and his advisors shifted uncomfortably. After a tense moment, the High Chancellor spoke, his voice low and ominous. "The Void Hunters are a scourge upon the galaxy, human. They emerge from the darkness between stars, consuming all in their path. Entire civilizations have fallen before them. Your kind would be little more than a morsel to sate their endless hunger." Alina feigned a shudder, but her mind was racing. The fear in Kexlor's voice was real, perhaps an opportunity to find common ground. Surely the mighty Confederation can stand against them. "With your advanced technology and the combined strength of all member worlds." Kexlor slammed a clawed appendage on the table, causing the humans to flinch. "You understand nothing. The Void Hunters are not mere savages to be outgunned or outmaneuvered. They are a force of nature, adapting to every defense, growing stronger with each victory. Even now, they press at the edges of our territory, probing for weaknesses." The High Chancellor's outburst had broken through the carefully maintained veneer of superiority. For a moment, Alina saw not a condescending alien overlord, but a leader grappling with an existential threat to his people. She made a split-second decision. "High Chancellor," Alina said, her tone now firm and confident, "what if I told you that Earth might have something to offer in this fight? Something that could tip the scales in our favor?" The room fell silent. Kexlor's advisors looked at Alina with a mixture of shock and derision. The High Chancellor himself leaned forward, his feathers bristling with barely contained energy. "Explain yourself, human," he hissed. Alina took a deep breath. This was the moment of truth, a calculated risk that could either secure a powerful ally or expose Earth's deception. She reached into her pocket and withdrew a small device, no larger than a coin. "This," she said, holding it up for all to see, "is a prototype of Earth's latest defense technology, a quantum-entangled shield generator capable of withstanding energy levels far beyond anything we've officially demonstrated." The Zorthalians stared at the device, their expressions unreadable. Alina continued, her heart pounding. "We've kept our true capabilities hidden, High Chancellor, out of caution and a desire to avoid becoming a target. But in light of the Void Hunter threat, we're prepared to share our advancements and forge a stronger alliance." For a long moment, no one spoke. Then, with a speed that belied his size, Kexlor snatched the device from Alina's hand. His compound eyes studied it intently as he turned it over in his claws. "If what you say is true," he said slowly, "it would change everything. But why should we believe you? Why would a primitive species like yours possess such technology?" Before Alina could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the palace. A Zorthalian Abe burst into the room, his feathers puffed out in panic. "High Chancellor," he cried, "we've detected a Void Hunter scout ship on the edge of the system. It's already adapted to our sensor grid. We can't lock weapons." Kexlor rose to his full height, his earlier skepticism forgotten in the face of imminent danger. He fixed Alina with a piercing stare. "It seems, human, that you'll have a chance to prove your worth sooner than expected. If your ship can do what you claim, now is the time to show it." Alina nodded grimly, all pretense of weakness falling away. She tapped her communicator, dropping the false frequency they'd been using. "Archimedes, this is the captain. Initiate Protocol Omega. We're about to show our new friends what humanity is truly capable of." As the humans rushed to their ship and the Zorth aliens scrambled to battle stations. The silent sentinel in orbit disengaged its cloaking field. The true face of Earth's technology was about to be revealed, for better or worse. The fate of two worlds, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. The invasion begins. The mood in the United Nations Security Council chamber was tense. Holographic displays flickered with real-time updates from across the solar system, each blinking dot representing a potential threat. At the center of it all stood General Marcus Blackwood, his weathered face illuminated by the eerie glow of the tactical readouts. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice grave, "the moment we've been preparing for has arrived. 30 minutes ago, our deep space monitoring stations detected a massive energy surge at the edge of the Kuiper Belt. The Void Hunters have found us." A collective gasp rippled through the room. The assembled world leaders exchanged worried glances, the weight of impending doom settling on their shoulders. "What about the Galactic Confederation?" asked the Chinese president, her normally stoic demeanor cracking. "Surely they'll come to our aid." Blackwood's laugh was bitter. "We've received word from Ambassador Chen on Zorthal. The Confederation is in chaos. The Void Hunters have launched simultaneous attacks on multiple fronts. They're stretched thin, and—" he paused, choosing his words carefully. "And they've made it clear that protecting a primitive world like ours is not a priority." The room erupted in angry shouts and recriminations. Blackwood let it continue for a moment before slamming his fist on the table. The sudden sound shocked everyone into silence. "None of that matters now," he growled. "We always knew we might have to face this alone. The question is, do we reveal our true strength now, or maintain the deception until the last possible moment?" The UN Secretary-General leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "What's the status of the silent sentinels?" Blackwood nodded to his aide, who brought up a new holographic display. It showed Earth surrounded by a complex web of cloaked defense platforms and hidden fleet formations. "All systems are go," Blackwood replied. "The moment we give the word, we can have our full defensive grid online. But once we do, there's no going back. The galaxy will know that we've been lying this whole time." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. It was the president of Nigeria who finally spoke up, her voice steady and determined. "We've hidden long enough," she declared. "Our people deserve to know the truth, and our enemies need to learn that humanity is not to be trifled with. I say we show them what we're truly capable of." One by one, the other leaders nodded in agreement. Blackwood allowed himself a small, grim smile. "Very well. May whatever gods are out there have mercy on us all." He tapped a command into his wrist computer. "This is General Blackwood. Authorization code. Silent Thunder. Initiate Global Revelation Protocol." Across the Earth, hidden bunkers hummed to life. Massive hangar doors concealed beneath oceans and mountain ranges began to open. In orbit, advanced satellites shed their primitive disguises, revealing sleek weapon systems and powerful shields. And in every home, on every device capable of receiving a signal, a pre-recorded message began to play. The familiar face of Dr. Amelia Chen, Earth's ambassador to the stars, appeared on screens worldwide. Her expression was solemn, but tinged with hope. "My fellow citizens of Earth," she began, "for years we have hidden our true capabilities from the galaxy at large. We have played the part of the primitive newcomers, all while preparing for this very moment. The deception ends today." She went on to explain the existence of the Silent Sentinels, the advanced technology Earth had developed in secret, and the imminent threat of the Void Hunters. As she spoke, live feeds showed massive ships rising from hidden bases, their hulls gleaming with technology far beyond anything Earth had publicly displayed. "We face a grave threat," Amelia continued, "but we do not face it unprepared. The road ahead will be difficult, but I ask you all to stand united. Humanity has overcome every challenge in its history, and together we will overcome this one as well." As the message concluded, a new sense of purpose swept across the globe. Panic gave way to determination as people realized that their leaders had not been idle in the face of cosmic dangers. In low Earth orbit, Admiral Sarah Wong stood on the bridge of the ESS Prometheus, the flagship of humanity's hidden fleet. The massive dreadnought, over 3 kilometers long, bristled with weapons that could reduce planets to ash. "Admiral," her XO reported, "all ships report ready. The Void Hunter Vanguard will enter the system in approximately 2 hours." Wong nodded, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Send word to all captains. We hold the line here. No matter the cost, those bastards don't set foot on our planet." As Earth's defenders took their positions, the first wave of Void Hunter ships slipped into the solar system. Their biomechanical forms, a twisted fusion of flesh and metal, seemed to devour the very light around them. Deep in the void between Mars and Jupiter, automated defense platforms sprang to life. Powerful energy beams lanced out, catching the invaders by surprise. Several Void Hunter ships erupted in silent explosions, their strange anatomies unable to withstand the onslaught. But the victory was short-lived. The remaining Void Hunters quickly adapted, their ships sprouting new growths and defenses even as they advanced. They returned fire, their weapons tearing through space with unnatural fury. Back on Earth, in the secure bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Blackwood watched the battle unfold with growing concern. "They're adapting faster than we anticipated," he muttered. "We need to change tactics." He opened a channel to the Prometheus. "Admiral Wong, we can't let them get closer to Earth. Initiate Protocol Omega-3. Wong's eyes widened slightly, but she nodded in understanding. "Acknowledged, General. May God have mercy on our souls." She turned to her crew, her voice ringing with authority. "All hands, prepare for emergency fold space jump. Target coordinates: Mars orbit." The bridge crew looked at her in shock. Fold space technology was Earth's most closely guarded secret, a form of FTL travel that made even the Confederation's fastest ships look sluggish. Using it now would reveal capabilities far beyond what anyone in the galaxy suspected humans possessed. But there was no time for hesitation. The Prometheus and its escort fleet shimmered and vanished, reappearing instantly in high orbit around Mars. They were now directly in the path of the advancing Void Hunters. "All ships, open fire," Wong commanded. "Hit them with everything we've got." The space around Mars erupted in a dazzling display of destructive power. Beam weapons, graviton torpedoes, and exotic particle cannons lit up the void. The Void Hunters, caught off guard by the humans' sudden appearance and overwhelming firepower, foundered. For a moment, it seemed like Earth might repel the invasion then and there, but the Void Hunters were not so easily defeated. As their front lines crumbled, new ships emerged from fold space, larger, more horrific, and radiating an aura of ancient malevolence. Admiral Wong's face paled as her sensors registered the new threat. "Mother of God," she whispered, "they've been holding back." The battle for Earth's survival had only just begun, and the true test of humanity's hidden strength was at hand, unleashing the silent sentinels. The Martian sky burned. Admiral Sarah Wong stood on the bridge of the ESS Prometheus, her eyes fixed on the holographic display that showed the unfolding battle. Earth's hidden fleet, now fully revealed, clashed with the Void Hunters in a furious exchange of energy weapons and gravitational distortions that warped the very fabric of space-time. "Status report," Wong barked, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. Her tactical officer, Lieutenant Commander Zhou Chen, responded without taking her eyes off her console. "We've destroyed approximately 40% of their vanguard, Admiral. But the new arrivals, they're something else entirely. Our weapons barely scratched them." Wong nodded grimly. She'd expected as much. The Void Hunters were living up to their reputation as the galaxy's apex predators. But humanity had a few more tricks up its sleeve. "Initiate Protocol Lazarus," Wong ordered, "and get me a direct line to General Blackwood." As her crew scrambled to comply, Wong allowed herself a moment of reflection. Everything they'd worked for, Every sacrifice made to keep Earth's true capabilities hidden had led to this moment. There would be no going back now. The holographic image of General Blackwood flickered to life on the bridge. His face was drawn, but his eyes burned with determination. "Admiral," he greeted her. "I take it we're moving to Phase 2. Wong nodded. "The Void Hunters have committed their main force. It's time to spring the trap." Blackwood's expression hardened. "Understood. I'll give the order." "Good hunting, Admiral. Earth is counting on you." As the transmission ended, Wong turned to her crew. "All hands, braced for emergency fold space jump. Target coordinates. Solar Prime." The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. Solar Prime was Earth's most closely guarded secret. A massive space station hidden within the sun's corona, powered by the star's own energy. It was the ultimate expression of human ingenuity and a linchpin of their defense strategy. In a flash of distorted spacetime, the Prometheus and its escort fleet vanished from Mars' orbit, reappearing moments later in the blinding light of the sun's atmosphere. The massive form of Solar Prime loomed before them, its advanced shielding protecting it from the sun's fury. "All ships, form up and prepare to receive reinforcements," Wong commanded. "It's time to show these bastards what humanity is really capable of." As if in response to her words, new signatures began appearing on the tactical display. From hidden bases on Mercury, Venus, and the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, wave after wave of ships emerged. Each one was a technological marvel, purpose-built to combat the Void Hunter threat. But the real surprise came from Solar Prime itself. Massive hangar bays opened along its length, disgorging swarms of smaller craft. These were the true silent sentinels, highly advanced, eye-augmented fighters that could outmaneuver and outgun anything the known galaxy had to offer. "Silent sentinels deployed, Admiral," Lieutenant Commander Chen reported, a note of awe in her voice. They're beautiful." Wong allowed herself a small smile. "That they are, Zoe. Now let's put them to work. All ships, execute Battle Plan Omega. Show no mercy." The reinforced Earth fleet surged forward, folding space to reappear amidst the Void Hunter armada. The battle that ensued was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Human ships danced through the void, their movements guided by predictive AI that could anticipate the Void Hunters' adaptations. Weapon systems powered by harnessed dark energy tore through the invaders' biomechanical hulls. And the silent sentinels proved their worth, swarming larger targets and exploiting weaknesses with ruthless efficiency. But the Void Hunters were far from defeated. As more of their ships fell, the survivors began to change. Destroyed vessels were absorbed into larger ones, creating monstrous amalgamations of twisted metal and pulsing flesh. Energy weapons that had been devastatingly effective minutes ago now barely scratched their evolving armor. "They're adapting too quickly," Chen shouted over the din of battle. "We can't keep up." Wong gritted her teeth, her mind racing. They needed something unexpected, something the Void Hunters couldn't adapt to. And then it hit her. "Get me a direct neural link to Solar Prime's AI core," she ordered, "and prepare to execute Maneuver Icarus." Her XO paled. "Admiral, Icarus is purely theoretical. We've never tested it in combat conditions. The risks are less than the risk of losing everything." Wong cut him off. "Do it." As the neural link was established, Wong felt her consciousness expand. The vast intelligence of Solar Prime's AI merged with her own, granting her a god's eye view of the battle. In that moment of clarity, she saw the path to victory. "All ships, this is Admiral Wong." Her voice rang out across the fleet, tinged with an otherworldly resonance. "Prepare for simultaneous fold space jump on my mark. Target coordinates are being transmitted now." Confusion rippled through the fleet. The coordinates would put them dangerously close to the sun's surface, well within the corona. But trust in their admiral ran deep, and they prepared to follow her orders. "Silent sentinels," Wong continued, "initiate graviton cascade sequence. Tune your fields to the following frequency. As the AI guided her thoughts, Wong directed the silent sentinels to create a complex web of gravitational distortions throughout the battlefield. The Void Hunters, sensing a new threat, began to converge on the fighters. Now, Wong commanded. In a massive coordinated maneuver, the entire Earth fleet executed a fold space jump. They reappeared scattered throughout the sun's corona, their advanced shielding straining against the stellar fury. The Void Hunters, caught in the graviton web, were dragged along with them. What followed was apocalyptic. The graviton cascade, amplified by the sun's intense gravity, created a series of space-time fluctuations that tore through the Void Hunter fleet. Ships were ripped apart, their adaptive capabilities overwhelmed by the fundamental forces of the universe itself. Those that survived found themselves trapped in localized time dilation fields, slowed to a crawl as the human fleet picked them off one by one. For several agonizing minutes, the battle raged amidst solar flares and plasma eruptions. Then, slowly, the tide began to turn. Void Hunter ships, unable to adapt to the extreme conditions and the humans' unorthodox tactics, began to fall in greater numbers. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Lieutenant Commander Chen's voice cut through the chaos. "Admiral, the enemy fleet is in full retreat. We've done it." A ragged cheer went up across the bridge, quickly spreading to the rest of the fleet. Wong allowed herself a moment of relief before refocusing. "Pursue and destroy any stragglers. I want confirmation that not a single Void Hunter ship escapes this system." As the Earth fleet mopped up the remaining invaders, Wong opened a channel to General Blackwood. The grizzled soldier's face appeared, a mix of exhaustion and elation etched into every line. "We did it, Sarah," he said softly. "Earth is safe." Wong nodded, feeling the weight of command lift slightly from her shoulders. "For now, Marcus. But this is just the beginning. The galaxy knows what we're capable of now. Everything changes from here on out." Blackwood's expression turned thoughtful. "Indeed it does. The silent sentinels have been revealed. It's time for humanity to step onto the galactic stage and take its rightful place among the stars." As the last Void Hunter ship was confirmed destroyed, Wong gazed out at the sun, its surface still roiling from the battle that had just taken place. Humanity had faced its greatest threat and emerged victorious. But as Blackwood had said, this was just the beginning. The silent sentinels had been unleashed, and the galaxy would never be the same. A new era for humanity. The Great Hall of the Galactic Confederation was abuzz with nervous energy. Representatives from 1,000 worlds shifted uneasily in their seats, their eyes fixed on the empty podium at the center of the chamber. For the first time in living memory, the Confederation had convened an emergency session with all member species in attendance. The reason for this unprecedented gathering stood quietly at the entrance, a small delegation of humans, led by Ambassador Amelia Chen. Their presence sent ripples of unease through the assembled aliens. Just weeks ago, humans had been seen as quaint primitives, barely worth noticing. Now, they were the saviors of the galaxy and its most feared potential threat. As the humans made their way to the speaking platform, conversations hushed. Ambassador Chen stepped up to the podium, her posture radiating calm confidence. She surveyed the room, meeting the gaze of various alien representatives, before beginning to speak. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Confederation," she said, her voice clear and strong. "We come before you today not as conquerors or saviors, but as equals. The recent Void Hunter invasion has changed everything. For us, for you, and for the future of this galaxy we all call home." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Chen continued, undeterred. "For generations, humanity hid its true capabilities from the galaxy at large. We played the part of the naive newcomers, all while preparing for the day when we would need to defend not just Earth, but all sentient life from existential threats." She paused, letting her words sink in. "Some of you may feel betrayed by our deception. Others may fear what else we might be hiding. These are valid concerns, and we are prepared to address them openly and honestly. The Zorthalian High Chancellor, Kexelor, rose from his seat. His once imperious demeanor was noticeably subdued. "Ambassador Chen," he began, his mandibles clicking nervously, "your people have indeed saved us all from the Void Hunters. But you must understand our trepidation. The technology you've revealed, the silent sentinels, your mastery of fold space travel, weapons capable of destroying Void Hunter ships, it far surpasses anything in the Confederation's arsenal. How can we trust that you won't use this power to dominate us?" Chen nodded, acknowledging the question. "High Chancellor, distinguished representatives, I understand your fears. But consider this. If domination was our goal, why reveal ourselves now? We could have continued our charade, building our strength in secret until resistance was futile." She gestured to her fellow humans. "Instead, we chose to stand with you against a common threat. We sacrificed our greatest advantage, secrecy, to protect not just Earth, but all sentient life in this galaxy. Our actions speak louder than any words could." A reptilian alien from the Draconis Collective spoke up next. "But what guarantees do we have? How do we know you won't turn on us the moment it suits your interests?" At this, General Marcus Blackwood stepped forward. His weathered face bore the scars of countless battles, both seen and unseen. "I've spent my entire career preparing for the day when humanity would need to defend itself against cosmic horrors," he began, his voice gravelly but clear. "But in all that time, do you know what I feared most?" The room fell silent, all eyes on the human general. "I feared that when the time came, we would stand alone, that the galaxy would abandon us to our fate, deeming us too primitive or insignificant to save." Blackwood's eyes swept the room, meeting alien gazes one by one. "We could have let that fear drive us to isolation or aggression. Instead, we chose to prepare in secret, ready to defend not just ourselves, but any who would stand with us against the darkness." He placed a hand on Chen's shoulder. "We don't ask for your subservience or your fear. We ask for your partnership. Together, we can build a stronger confederation, one capable of facing any threat, be it Void Hunters or something even worse lurking in the depths of space." The chamber erupted in discussion, aliens debating furiously among themselves. Chen and Blackwood stood calmly, waiting for the furor to die down. Finally, a wizened Aloxarian, one of the eldest species in the Confederation, floated to the center of the room. "Humans," the Aloxarian's telepathic voice echoed in everyone's mind. "Your actions have saved countless lives. Your technology could usher in a new age of peace and prosperity for all. But trust must be earned. What do you propose?" Chen smiled, as if she had been waiting for this very question. "We propose a new charter for the Galactic Confederation, one that emphasizes transparency, mutual defense, and the sharing of knowledge for the benefit of all sentient life." She tapped a control on her wrist, and a holographic display sprang to life above the podium. It showed schematics for advanced defense systems, medical technologies far beyond anything the Confederation possessed, and clean energy solutions that could revitalize dying worlds. "This is just the beginning," Chen continued. "We offer to share our advancements, to work together in pushing the boundaries of science and exploration. In return, we ask for true partnership. No more artificial hierarchies, no more treating younger species as inferior. We stand together as equals, or we fall divided." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. It was Kexelor who finally broke the silence. This would change everything," he said, his voice a mix of awe and trepidation. "Yes," Chen agreed. "Change can be frightening, but it can also be the catalyst for greatness. The Void Hunters showed us that the old ways are no longer sufficient. We must adapt, grow, and unite if we are to face the challenges that lie ahead." What followed was the longest debate in Confederation history. For days, representatives argued, negotiated, and slowly came to terms with the new reality. Earth's delegation answered countless questions, demonstrated technologies, and worked tirelessly to build bridges with species that had once looked down on them. Finally, after a week of intense discussions, a new charter was drafted. The Galactic Confederation would be reborn as the United Sentient Alliance, a true partnership of equals dedicated to mutual defense, scientific advancement, and the preservation of all sentient life. As Ambassador Chen signed the new charter on behalf of Earth, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. Humanity had emerged from the shadows, revealing its strength to the galaxy. But with that revelation came great responsibility. The journey ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, setbacks, and maybe even new threats to face. But as Chen looked out at the sea of alien faces, no longer filled with fear or disdain, but with cautious hope, she knew that they had taken the first step towards a brighter future. The silent sentinels had served their purpose, bringing humanity out of the shadows and onto the galactic stage. Now, it was time for a new chapter, one where Earth would stand proudly alongside its cosmic neighbors, ready to face whatever the universe might throw at them. As the signing ceremony concluded and cheers filled the great hall, Chen allowed herself a small smile. The deception was over. The real work was just beginning. And somewhere out in the vast expanse of space, the stars seemed to shine just a little bit brighter.